All right, welcome to this explainer. I am super thrilled you're here. Today, we're literally stepping onto the diamond to break down the absolute fundamental skills, strategies, and fitness requirements of baseball and softball. Whether you're a total beginner, just learning the ropes, or you're already a dedicated student of the game looking to dial in your technique, we are going to go step by step through the ultimate playbook. Here's the game plan for today. We'll start with the game foundation, move into mastering the fundamentals, look at essential fitness requirements, cover safety and strategy, and finally, wrap it up in the final inning. Okay, Section 1, the game foundation. So before we even step up to the plate, we've got to establish the basic rules that govern the diamond. Unlike soccer or basketball where you're racing a running clock, baseball and softball flow totally differently. They're played in periods called innings. Basically, teams take turns, one bats on offense, while the other puts 9 players out on the field for defense. This inning structure completely dictates the pace of the game. Which actually brings us to a really fascinating, kind of nuanced rule, the fielder's choice. Now, we know you gotta touch all 4 bases to score a run, right? But imagine you hit the ball, you sprint, and you reach first base safely. Awesome. But the defense decides to throw out your teammate who was running ahead of you instead. That is a fielder's choice. It just goes to show reaching a base safely doesn't always mean a total win for the offense if the defense makes a strategic out somewhere else. Moving right along to Section 2, mastering the fundamentals. Let's unpack the big 5 core physical skills every single player has to master: throwing, catching, batting, fielding, and base running. These are literally the building blocks of the sport. Let's kick things off with throwing. And listen, throwing is all about precise mechanics, not just chucking it with raw arm strength. You start with the right grip, fingers on top of the ball, thumb underneath. Next, point your glove side shoulder directly at your target. Then, you absolutely must step forward with your opposite foot. Finally, release the ball just past your face and follow through with your motion. It's like a chain reaction for accuracy and control. Now, when you're dialing this in, you've got to avoid some major momentum killers. Honestly, standing completely sideways without rotating or trying to throw flat-footed without taking that forward step, it'll completely zap your power. So the main takeaway here, always step toward your target to transfer that energy properly into the throw. Okay, catching. This one requires intense focus and timing. The steps are actually pretty straightforward. First, lock your eyes entirely onto that incoming ball. Second, give the thrower a nice, relaxed, two-handed target with those elbows slightly bent. And third, and this is key, the second that ball hits your glove, boom, secure it by trapping it with your free hand. And that brings up a really common, honestly kind of dangerous bad habit for beginners, the flashy one-handed catch. Don't do it. Always use that free hand to trap the ball inside the glove rather than relying on a risky one-handed grab. Oh, and never look away early. You want to watch and track that ball literally until it is completely secured in your possession. All right, picture this. You're stepping into the batter's box. Your success completely hinges on crafting what we call the perfect swing. Start with a balanced, athletic stance. Feet shoulder-width apart, toes pointing at home plate. Next, keep those hands together on the grip. Then you execute this beautifully coordinated swing where your hands, arms, body, and legs are all working together. And lastly, don't just stop abruptly when you make contact. You got to extend those arms and power right through with a full follow-through. To get that swing just right, steer clear of these major pitfalls. First off, never separate your hands on the bat. Keeping them pressed tightly together is exactly what generates that sheer, explosive power you need to hit safely. And, obviously, don't stand off balance. If you're wobbly, it's pretty much impossible to react to a pitch in time. Now, let's talk about fielding grounders using this fantastic plain language concept, the alligator hands technique. When a ground ball comes your way, you want to get into a ready position and get low. Imagine your glove is the bottom jaw of an alligator, and your bare throwing hand is the top jaw. As the ball rolls in, you just snap those jaws shut to safely and easily trap it. It's such a perfect visual, whether you're a total rookie or you've been playing for years. Once you make contact with that ball, the race is on. Base running is our 5th fundamental. The steps are simple. Hit the ball, sprint instantly to first base, physically touch every single base in order, and slide safely if the defense is trying to tag you out. Quick strategic tip here, though. While you are allowed to overrun first base and home plate at full speed, you absolutely have to hit the brakes and maintain control at second and third base. And when you do need to hit those brakes or dodge a tag, proper sliding technique is critical. When you think about proper form, Always lead with your foot, keep your body super low to the ground, and slide smoothly on your side or your back. Sliding upright, it's a huge safety hazard. Never do it. Sliding correctly minimizes your risk of injury and gets you right under the fielder's tag. All right, Section 3, Essential Fitness Requirements. So mastering those 5 fundamental physical skills, it's virtually impossible if you don't have the physical conditioning to back them up. These specific fitness abilities directly translate to your performance on the diamond. You need speed to run the bases and chase down fly balls. Agility lets you change direction rapidly while staying in total control. Power, that's essential for generating the sheer force needed to hit the ball. Coordination makes sure your eyes, hands, feet, and body move as one cohesive unit. Reaction time is how you respond instantly to a fast pitch or a crazy grounder. And balance, well, that's the absolute anchor for both your batting and fielding stances. Which leads us perfectly into Section 4, Safety and Strategy. Now that we've got the physical tools and the fitness foundation, let's explore how we actually deploy them on the field, strategically and safely. Notice how the goals totally flip depending on which side of the ball you're on. The offense has one primary mission: put the ball in place safely, advance those runners, and touch home plate to score. Meanwhile, the defense is working as a unit to shut all of that down. They want to pitch effectively, catch fly balls, and field grounders cleanly so they can make quick, accurate throws to grab outs and prevent any scoring whatsoever. But here's a really crucial question for you. What actually matters more than a powerful swing or a lightning-fast pitch? Just think about that for a second. Because as we learn from the playbook, raw physical talent is only part of the equation when it comes to being a truly great athlete. The real answer? It's safety, teamwork, and good decision-making. Inspecting your equipment before a game to make sure bats and helmets are safe, wearing the proper protective gear, and ensuring you never wildly swing a bat in a crowded dugout, those are non-negotiable safety rules. Furthermore, knowing exactly where to throw the ball in a split second during a chaotic play, that takes serious mental sharpness. That safety-first, team-oriented mindset is what truly marks a successful player. And finally, Section 5, the final inning. We have covered a ton of ground today, so let's quickly round the bases and recap the major takeaways from this detailed playbook explainer. Here's your 5-skill recap. Remember to 1. Throw with proper mechanics, always stepping towards your target. 2. Catch with 2 hands to lock it in. 3. Bat from a balanced, athletic stance with your hands glued together. 4. Field grounders using that snappy, low alligator hands technique. And 5. Run the bases smartly and slide safely. Seriously, from your first grip on the ball to your final slide into home plate, mastering these 5 steps builds an incredibly solid foundation for any student of the game. So the thought I want to leave you with today is this. Now that you know the playbook, which skill are you going to practice first to elevate your game? Keep that question in the back of your mind next time you step onto the dirt. Don't try to master everything all at once. Focus on one fundamental at a time, apply the fitness principles, prioritize safety and teamwork, and you will absolutely build true expertise. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.